suffered heavily. And we see the pack moving in, trying to set up in a nice position where the bunker can't hit it while it can fire away at the bunker. Pack moving in as it's Sherman moving in as well to open fire. And what is this? Moving into the bunker. Oh no, I can't believe I'm seeing this. Trying to use the bunker despite it's close to being knocked out. This is not good. If they do not get out in time, they will be killed alongside the bunker. This really should be noted. If your troops are inside a building and it goes down, the troops are lost as well. Grenadiers now moving in. Dual Panthers fighting away. Oh no, get out, Pioneers. Get out. Oh, there we go. And there we go. Bunker down. Exposing the entire western flank to infantry as well. Although there's not really much to stop anything even more, since the most of the force is composed of Shermans, ready to do horrible things to the German defenders. And we see the gun upgrade for the Shermans. Apparently, not sure there's a reason for that, but apparently he figured he might as well. Doubt there's going to be anything to actually save the Wehrmacht commander at this moment. Certainly not enough command points to get a King Tiger. And we see grenades going off amongst the American infantry, but doing very little. Machine gun bunker suppressing some of the American infantry, but really that's about it. Although I can't say why he isn't moving in his tanks for the final kill. There's certainly not going to be much to stop them. Grenades going off, killing further Grenadiers and Pioneers. This is not really much, in fact. And one can certainly see how things are quickly falling apart. And of course, why did this happen? A bit of bad prioritizing from the case of the German commander, and of course strafing runs certainly also had a finger in this. But again, if he perhaps had a bit more consistent in actually being a bit more aggressive, not being constantly tied down by these riflemen here in the building, and instead focusing on the rest of the map, he might have had stood a better chance. Instead, Massimiliano was certainly allowed to retain map control for most of the fight without much trouble, and a satchel charge knocks out the Grenadier Creek barracks. Oh dear, and now the Shermans have finally moved in, slaughtering everything in their path like armored behemoths. And the 706th has completely lost the fight. The 29th Infantry Division, with its armored support, having breached their defense, have torn aside the Grenadiers and Foot Grenadiers and wrought doom and woe upon them. So there you go. The end of the fight. So, what can we learn from this? Well, for starters, don't get tied down by infantry in buildings, in particular using Volksgrenadiers. If you see riflemen in a building and it's really in a rather good spot, move them away and focus on somewhere else. It can be a bit hard. You really want to get those riflemen out, but really you have to fight that urge. You want Pioneers, you want something with flames to actually drive them out, or you want to at least stand here and fire away where there are only 2 riflemen able to shoot out at a time. But really you should focus your Volksgrenadiers elsewhere. He should have gone for some of all these fuel points. You really should have driven out elsewhere, focused elsewhere, just set down a machine gun to stop the riflemen from getting out and then doing other stuff. And well, besides that, I really think that was the major cause of his loss. Of course, the packs could possibly have been used a bit better. You could use mines. The Grenadiers with the Panthers could probably also be used better, and I don't think the Veterans with 3 was necessary. Perhaps he really should have gotten for a Stuke to at least augment his forces and have something to really stand up as a threat to the Sherman, as really it is alright as sort of road bump to the Shermans, which is rather how I use it again. The Sherman is forced to sort of engage it, because as soon as it turns its rear to it, it's certainly going to be hit there. So this forces the Sherman to deal with the Stuke, and of course allows you to focus all of your other anti-tank assets on the Sherman. And not sure what else. The strafing runs were of course quite the large factor, slaughtering many of his infantrymen, but again a bit more aggression, and I think he could have at least done a bit better. But there you go, and I hope you enjoyed this match, and if you did, why not subscribe or tell your friends. This is Imperial Dane saying Cheers.